Hello everybody, my name is Huntermonta and welcome to a special T-Fortress 2 video. This is just going to be a video where I'm going to go through all my classes and basically what I like to use, what I prefer, what I don't really like, and what's my favourite classes and all that lovely stuff. So I decided to make this video because I'm literally bored. I want to make a video and I just went into TF2 and decided that this looked like a pretty good one to make. So let's do this. So everyone's going to be able to see what I use, what stuff I have, and all that lovely stuff. So let's start off on Scout. So as you can see on Scout, I pretty much like to use kind of like the stock stuff. Kind of apart from the genuine 3-room blade, I used to use just the regular bat, but I've decided to use the genuine 3-room blade because I've started playing competitive quite a bit more, and it's good for building Uber and stuff like that, so it's quite easy to use, it's quite fun, and I think it looks pretty darn awesome. Yep, and I basically use the strange pistol and the strange scattergun. Personally, they're my favourite. I rarely use anything else on there. I rarely use anything else apart from the pistol as well. It's kind of like personally the best thing for me, and I just prefer these as kind of the weapons for Scout. And as you can see, I've got the tussle cap, fast learner, and essential accessories, looking rather awesome. I was trying to get the tussle cap pink. I have been unable to get that pink at the moment, so it kind of looks a bit odd, but yeah, that's how I'll roll. And of course with the high five taunt. There we go. So moving on to soldier. It's pretty much, I like playing soldier. It's kind of one of the classes I have the most fun with and stuff like that. So yeah, so my rocket launcher of choice is the original. Lately I've preferred this over the regular rocket launcher because for some reason I just prefer to use it, you know, and if it wants to change, I mean, it just, oh, there we go. But to be honest, I kind of got bored of the regular one and I started using the original. I kind of prefer that. Yeah, so I think I can use this a bit better. I prefer this to the regular one, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no really stat difference or anything. It's just like kind of like a reskin. But anybody who uses the original will kind of know it's a little quirk. And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't used it, but I definitely recommend you go and get this weapon and try it out for yourself, because it kind of shocks you. I didn't realise what it was until I actually used it, and I was like, whoa. Next, I like to use the shotgun, the strange shotgun. Sometimes I'll maybe put on the gunboats if I tend to be rocket jumping quite a bit. If I'm playing MVM, I'll probably use the buff banner. But if I'm just playing regular, I'll probably use the shotgun and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the well-rounded thing that I prefer. Next, I'll use the vintage escape plan. This is kind of like a no-brainer for me. I kind of love it, to be honest. It's, in my opinion, the best melee weapon that you can get. Sometimes I might use the pain train if I'm playing some competitive, or maybe the market gardener if I feel like messing about with the rocket jumper. But this is kind of like the serious play kind of, you know, it's kind of loadout that I'd use. Of course, team captain. You can't have anything else. Along with old father, looking rather dapper there with these professor specs. So that's pretty much what I like to use. Next, moving on to pyro. I don't really play pyro too much, so it's kind of okay, I suppose, but I rarely play it. So, well, I have the degreaser, which is kind of a no-brainer, really. It's, in my opinion, the best flamethrower, and it's probably the best one to use, pretty much. Next, I like to use the flare gun, pretty much, and I prefer this over the shotgun because it lights people on fire, and it's kind of like the burn damage. It's kind of just like a better weapon for me. I prefer it. I like to use the extinguisher. Sometimes I'll maybe put on something like I don't know, the home wrecker if I'm playing competitive and maybe want to protect some engineer stuff like that's getting sapped. But you know, at the moment I prefer to use the extinguisher because it's kind of like the more fun thing to use, in my opinion, and it works well with stuff like that. And yeah, so I've got the flamboyant flamenco. I just think it looks pretty darn awesome. Let's put some specs on this guy, even though you can't really see him, and of course high five taunt. So yeah, there we go. Next, moving on to Demo Man, which I love playing Demo Man. I pretty much use everything stock, as you can see. I prefer everything stock. I think the Demo Man is best when stock, to be honest. As you can see, got the strange grenade launcher, which sometimes I use the lock and load. It's kind of a fun weapon to use, I suppose. Next, I have the sticky bomb launcher. The regular one I prefer. I did have this one, but to be honest, I don't really like the bot killers, apart from like the wrench one maybe. But I'd probably use the regular one and just use a strange bottle. Sometimes I use a strange pain train if I, as I said, if I need to play some competitive. That's pretty much what I use. So as you can see, there's some stuff that I wear. Next, moving on to heavy. This is kind of like the loadout, my redneck heavy, as I like to call it. I haven't painted the All-Father yet, so I probably should do that soon. But I like to use the regular minigun, just because I just think it's the best one overall. There's no like extra mechanics that you need to really worry about. It's stock, it's good to use, and it's what I basically like to use. So, but if I'm playing MVM, I'll probably switch out to Natasha, which is kind of like useful because it slows down people and stuff like that. But if I'm playing regular, I'll just use the regular minigun. I don't really play heavy too much, but yeah. Also, I use the sandwich because it's really useful. Anybody who doesn't know what the sandwich is, it's basically like a automatic healing weapon of some sorts that you can throw on the ground for your medic if he is in trouble, and yeah, that you can kind of just, you know, use as a thingy. Or you can use the festive sandwich. It looks pretty weird, but to be honest, I just prefer my vintage sandwich. Next, I have the unremarkable killing gloves of boxing, or the strange killing gloves of boxing. I prefer these just because of the crits. I like the gloves of running urgently, but to be honest, I kind of like having the crits, so I'll probably use those more. And as you can see, I got the stuff like that. Next, moving on to engineer, one of my favourite classes. Definitely, I love this thing. I pretty much use stock on this again, as I've said. Like, you know, a lot of things I'll probably use stock because they're better to use and more fun. Plus, if I ever do go into competitive with any of these classes, like if I make them my main, I'm practice, you know, with like the stock weapons, because sometimes the weapons are banned in competitive TF2. So yeah. So what I'll use is maybe the menacing, like the strange shotgun. It's probably the one I use the most. Sometimes I'll maybe use the rescue ranger if I need to play, if I'm relying upon my sentry a little bit more, but it's kind of like not very damaging weapon, should we say. Next we have the uncharitable pistol, but I'll switch out to the Wrangler every now and again if I need to. So it's kind of like I haven't, like, they're not one over the other. I just use them at different times when I think they're necessary. Next I have the wrench. I just prefer the regular wrench, to be honest. Sometimes I'll use the gunslinger. I'll use that when I'm attacking on maybe like CP maps, or not CP maps. I don't play competitive on engineer on CP maps, so I'm not about, but like payload maps. But if I'm playing pub lobbies, like if I play granary, I'll use this, of course, you know. So that's pretty much what I like to use. So there we go. So unusual Texas 10-gallon with green confetti. I love this hat, but yeah. Next, moving on to medic. I pretty much use everything stock again. Big surprise. Apart from maybe the Uber saw. I love using the Uber saw. It's probably the best melee weapon for the medic. But sometimes when it's necessary, I'll use a Kritzkrieg. Obviously, if you don't have the Kritzkrieg and you're a medic, that's a bit stupid. But you know, I'll use the strange medigun, maybe the strange syringe gun. But sometimes I'll switch out to the Crusader's crossbow if I feel it's necessary, you know, because Crusader's crossbow is a very nice weapon after the buff it had like a while ago, and I prefer that basically. So yeah, moving on to sniper. I love playing sniper. Pretty much use the regular sniper because it's too, I think it's better overall. You can no scope, which is not like the Machina, and the Bazaar Bargain doesn't have some weird like charge thing. Next I use the Girati, which is kind of like a helpful bit of thing. Like if I ever use it, it's very helpful. I prefer that over the regular SMG. Sometimes I'll maybe switch out to Orange Danger Shield and stuff like that. Next I'll use the Tribalman Shiv. I probably should use the Bushwhacker when using the Girati, but I really like the Tribalman Shiv. It's a really nice weapon to use, and yeah, kind of prefer that. So, oh, excuse me. Final class is Spy. Now, Spy is kind of like the one where I don't use anything stock on it. I'll use the Ambassador, which is kind of like a, if anybody doesn't know what it is, it's kind of like a sniper. It's a pistol sniper thing. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Next I'll use the Spicicle. I used to have like an obsession with strange weapons, where like I'd love the Spicicle, but it wasn't strange, so I'd use like the strange knife. But now it's strange, I'll use it. Like, love the Spicicle. Next I use a dead regat, so that's what I'll use. I rarely take it off. If I do, I'll use the enthusiast timepiece as kind of like a main little thing, and stuff like that. But there's nothing really else I'd use. Sometimes I'll maybe use a red tape recorder, but I prefer the regular sapper. Just for some reason, I just prefer it. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's been my loadouts that you've seen. They're what I like to use. Sometimes they do change and stuff, but they've been like this for quite a while now. Just pretty much the same, to be honest. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. If you liked any of these loadouts, maybe you'll want to use them for yourself. They're very helpful. I'd certainly recommend you go and try them out. Very helpful indeed. Thank you guys for watching this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Love it when you do. It gives me a lot of enthusiasm, shall we say, to carry on making videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.